Sunday to you. It's Sarah from Funky Fossil here, back with another episode of Make It Sunday. And this week I thought I'd just do a very quick and fun project using our rope frame dies and our vintage ink paper pad to make a bit of a shaped card, see how that works out. So our rope frame die cuts the detail into your card, but also gives you the inner and the outer die to be able to cut it out as a frame. So that's what gave me the idea for making a shaped card today. These two products will be our Sunday Makers bundle this week. I do apologise for the bandage. I was injured in the line of duty. So these will be the Sunday Maker bundle in store this weekend. So do check that out and check out the great price if this is a kind of project that you'd like to have a go at. But of course, the whole point of Make It Sunday videos is to give you a bit of inspiration, ideas, and encourage you to use what you already have. So what I thought I would do, the reason I thought about this as a kind of shaped card is a good size die. So this outer die is probably about 14 and a half centimetres. So a nice size for a card. And I haven't actually tested this out. All I've done is done some die cutting ahead of time, and we'll see whether my idea works, basically. So I have cut two of the outer die, the solid outer portion, cut it out twice from Craft Card, and on the piece that's going to be the back of my card, the bit that stands up and attaches to the front, I've simply scored a line towards the top of that shape so that I'll be able to attach it to my card front and it should stand up. We shall see. I'm hoping that the kind of the legs or the rope elements on the die shape are going to be strong enough to hold the card. Then what I've done ahead of time is cut another solid shape from our vintage ink paper pad. This is a real kind of retro tattoo nautical style set of papers in a gorgeous kind of retro colourway. So you've got lots of anchors in here, you've got roses, really rich navy blues, deep reds, and there's a fabulous page with lots of the little sailors on. This is all kind of expanding on stamp sets that Belinda Basson designed for us for the vintage ink collection. So this paper pad has that whole kind of vintage tattoo style to it. So I have gone ahead and die cut one of these pages with the roses on out of vintage ink paper pads. What I've also done is, this is the wrong way around in the paper pad, I have cut out, what I love about this paper pad is it has some large focal images embedded in the papers that make them very easy to cut out and embellish your projects with. So I have simply cut out this wonderful anchor with the roses. I have backed it onto some craft cards, so it's going to have a bit more substance as a raised embellishment on our card front, but that's where I've got that design from. So there's lots you can do with this paper pad. So I've got my card structure, I've got a pattern paper to sit on the back of my card front, and I have literally die cut a frame out of cream card and this wonderful rope design. So when I say it cuts out of the card, you basically cut this die out of your craft card, and then you use your inner and outer dies to then cut it out as an actual separate element that you can take out as a separate piece, as we see here. So that's how my card front is shaping up, and as you can see it's going to have a number of layers to it, which should give it some real decent strength and substance. I know that I'm going to add my anchor to the front, so I think it's going to be a really cute card. All I'm going to do is just a little bit of ink to our rope frame, just to give it a little bit of variation in colour, so it's not all just the flat craft card colour. So I've got some ground espresso here, just a blending brush, and I'm not looking to get full coverage on this on this rope. I am just wanting to kind of pick up little elements where there's just a bit of a darker brown touch to the cardstock. Just think that will make it look a little bit more interesting. So again, this isn't something that you need to do. You might decide that you're going to cut your rope frame in completely different colourways, etc. So this is just one of those nice little extra touches that can make the card look a little bit more interesting, a bit of depth and shadow to it. So, and of course, if I'm not careful, I'll cover the whole card. So I'll leave that there. And I think I'll probably add a little bit of white gel pen later when I've got it all adhered together, and that will again give it another little bit of highlight. Let me just take this ink off our mat, and then we adhere all this together, and then we just think about putting a sentiment on the card front. So this is a super quick project. Sometimes my Sunday makes are more involved journal pages, but this time I just thought, let's do something. We're well into December now. Maybe not have as much time for crafting as we do other times in the year. So let's just make something that's fun and simple, and of course might work quite nicely for Valentine's. Just saying. Oops. Do you know, this mat is amazing, but it holds the papers down. Either that or my nails are just rubbish. I can't actually lift the, there we go. Can't lift the base card up. So just lining up my pattern paper. And again, I didn't need necessarily to do this. I could have left the inner a flat craft. I could have stenciled on it. I could have stamped on it. Having that extra piece of pattern paper, of course, will give it a little bit more weight and dimension. But there are lots of other things that you could do as well. Let's add our cream. Layer to this. I just like how it all kind of lines up. Now, of course, again, another option would be, and this would be great for a shaker card, wouldn't it? If you had the patience to put kind of foam pads all the way around your rope frame to make it a window aperture, that would be another really cool card. So many things you can do with this rope die. So I'm just going for relatively plain and straightforward today. So this die, so this element is probably the fiddliest of the ones to glue down, because obviously you've got all these open spaces. So I'm trying to be very gentle with my glue and apply it where there's the most solid space for me to get some glue on. It doesn't need to be absolutely covered in glue. It's not the heaviest weight that it's got to hold. So I've just gone for the outer edge. Line this up. I think I'm going to put the back on last. Once I've done all the decorating on the front. This is already feeling quite sturdy, so I'm happy that those layers are giving me the dimension that I need. So if we put our anchor in the front here, I think it's a strong enough focal point that it's not going to fight too much with these roses behind it, but obviously it does carry across that we've got the roses in the pattern paper. But I'll add this on some foam tape so it stands proud of the frame. gives it a little bit more separation from the background. Plenty of foam on there, that's not coming off. And then the only thing really that we need to think about is a sentiment. It's a lovely size for sitting within that frame. So to create my sentiment on the card, I'm going to use which of them is it? I think it's the Forever True. It is the A5 Forever True stamp set here, which has got this wonderful banner in, and obviously the words that fit within that shape, so you don't need to manipulate your stamp to make it fit. And what I'm going to do is use a sheet of the paper pad, the same sheet that I took this focal point from, and I'm going to stamp my banner on some of the open space here, because of course that's got lots of fantastic dimension. It's already a kind of softer colour, so it's going to marry nicely with the cream and the brown of the rope frame. So, and I love that Belinda's designed this banner so it's a good size. So obviously we've got sentiments within this collection that do, you know, have been designed to fit perfectly, but it's a good enough size that I think you will have other sentiments that will also work in the space that it gives you. Or you could handwrite them, of course. So, and she's also added fantastic kind of shading within the banner. So it already has its own dimension. So let me just decide which of the sentiments to add to this particular project. Shall I do Love Never Fails? Shall I do Be Mine? Forever True. I think that's my favourite one of these. I'm sure I've used this a few times now on different projects. So really, really easy to line up and fit in. How cool does that look? Right, I'm just going to take a second to cut that out, and then I will come back just to do the final construction of this card, and that will be our make for this Sunday. So I'll see you back just in a second. Right, so I've cut out my banner, and all I have done in addition while the camera was off was cut out one of the roses from this background paper and just created a small cut into the banner, just so it fits nice and snugly there, as just to make that embellishment a little bit more interesting and tied into the whole project. So all I'm going to do is stick this down. We can add a few, I'm just not quite sure. Don't want to add glue where it's going to be over the edge of the card. I think that's going to be nice. So we'll stick this down, then we can add some white highlights around our rope, hoping that my gel pen is willing to cooperate with me today. Let's get a bit of scrap paper. It's playing nicely. I do need some more white gel pens for Christmas. I must ask Mr. G. So again, this is just very much a matter of personal taste and preference. You may not want to do this. It's just a way of adding a little bit more visual interest to your project. And where I've already got the brown ink down, the distress ink that we put in in the beginning the white gel pen may just soften a little bit and take a little bit of that colour on, which is absolutely fine. This is that bit of the project, which is the classic faffing phase. But I think the main image has got some really nice highlights in it already built into the artwork, so it's nice to carry that through. We shall leave that there, she says, adding more. But it's probably quite a subtle touch, but it is something that you'll be able to see in real life on the finished version. There we go. So our last important part of the construction is to add our card back. So I've added glue where there was the little tab that we'd scored, just making sure the front and back are lined up, and then we can add the glue there. So add the glue, just squeezing down, and I hope glue everywhere as always. Obviously this isn't necessarily completely dry, but hopefully we will have, oh yeah, it stands, it's lovely. Right, well I'll have to take some pictures of that front on, but it looks absolutely fabulous, so I shall take some pictures of it standing, so you can see it front on as to how it looks as a card. But that's a really great way to use your rope frame. Not only can you cut it into your card fronts to give you a bit of rope detailing, you can use it to make a shaped card base. So I really hope that you enjoy experimenting and seeing what you can make with your rope frame die. Remember, it will be part of this week's Sunday Makers bundle along with the paper pad, so you'll be able to get it at a great price. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have, thank you so much for supporting our channel, supporting Funky Fossil. And I shall be back next week with another Make It Sunday. I'm not sure what it will be, but hopefully it will be lots of fun. So see you again soon. Thanks as always. Bye for now.